Mic check, Wagwan Batty, man. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, Cannibal Corpse. I got recommended I check out Kill on the Patreon. And as much as I don't mind bypassing a few albums in the process, you know, because we tend to listen in a forward-moving motion. I mean, what I get recommended, so it doesn't make a difference, you know. But with that being said, I knew the next Cannibal Corpse record we had to listen to was the debut of George Corpse Grinder Fisher, so I couldn't bypass that one. So I'm gonna do Kill after this one, but we're gonna do Vile today. All right. The debut of Corpse Grinder. Me personally, although Corpse Grinder, I think is. We're sipping on a Bombay Sapphire, by the way. Although I think Corpse Grinder is a prominent character, a prominent figure, a good marketing tool. I don't know. I'm a bit funny because like people find like endearing that this guy's like a bit of a nerd into World of Warcraft and he's a generally good man, yet the music, you know, is quite the contrary, you know, gruesome, extreme death metal. I don't really like that in music. I don't really like that because it makes me think, is your real character that you portray outside of the music fake? Or is the, you know, character you portray on stage fake? Which one is it? And I know there's a duality of such, you can be each and every one, but I like consistency, right? There's a pop artist over here. I mean, I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but I remember when he started to do the rounds on social media, he was called, what's he called? He was Louis Capaldi. And his music was deep, emotionally driven, singer-songwriter music. Yet his online persona was kooky and funny and comedic, and it's sort of like, which is the real you? And I know that humans are multifaceted, but it actually detracts and turns me off of artists, you know? I want my metalheads to be grumpy, to put a long story short. That's it. I want them to be weird. I want them to be borderline criminals, right? Devoured by Vermin is track number 1. Let's change my mind on this, yeah? We're listening to Vile tonight. Shout out to all the Cannibal Corpse heads. I like Cannibal Corpse. I'm not hating, alright. So far in my journey, I've preferred Cannibal Corpse to Morbid Angel. I've not preferred them to Deicide. I think that debut Deicide record is going to be tough to top as far as death metal is concerned, but we're moving on. Devoured by Vermin. By the way, all you metalheads here, repent for your sins. Turn to Christ. Come on. Don't go playing with the devil. Don't go playing with the devil now. Before you think I'm taking the piss, I know it's King of the Posers TV and all that, and I don't know anything about anything. But I grew up with people who went into, who found comfort in the arms of the dark gods. we grew up, and some took the route of the occult, and through the occult they took the left-hand path, and through taking the left-hand path they got involved in organizations and hidden societies. And that's why I'm saying don't play with the devil, because you'll have these bands that promote the satanic merchandising and write satanic songs and all of this, and they don't really understand the reality of that which is, you know. It's all fine with the imagery and the throwing up of the horns and all of this stuff, but some people believe in more than theatrics out there, and it goes above and beyond just reading literature and having book club with your friends. Some people act in wacky ways, man. Most of them, as far as politics are concerned, are run by those you're supposed to trust. But I know nothing about that. Let's go. Someone says one of the best death metal videos about. Yo, you know, I had a mate, right? And he was proper into a cattle decapitation video. Forced gender reassignment. And the video is shocking. And he always used to put it on. How weird is that? You know, I don't mind a tasteful, disturbing video. But anybody who's like into gore and that sort of stuff, I mean, I don't mind it in like a horror context, even though it is still questionable. I'm defending myself here because I liked budget horror back in the day, like extreme horror. Yo, if you're watching this because you like Cannibal Corpse and you like how I felt, please engage with me on this one. Yeah, when I was younger and edgy and a teenager, maybe in my early 20s as well, August Underground. Did anybody ever come across that film series? Between you and me, I didn't mind the Human Centipede either. I thought as far as horror concepts are concerned, that's quite frightening. And there was a great great English horror film called Mum and Dad, which I would recommend. That's pretty sick as well. Find God, people. You know what? They've not really gone too extreme on the song titles on this record. I mean, the most shocking is probably Orgasm Through Torture. I think it's when they do the blend of sexual and gore, you know. When they mix the two, sometimes it can be quite gross. But we've got Mummified in Barbed Wire, Perverse Suffering, Disfigured, Bloodlands, Puncture Wound Massacre, Relentless Beating, Absolute Hatred. I mean, it's all primitive, to say the least. But we're not going out of our way to just be shock jocks on the titles of this one. Even though that's what draws the Cannibal Corpse fans in, right? If you look at their most popular songs. It was alright. It was alright. It was alright. It was alright. At first listen, the vocal performance, it's not flipping Old Boy, is it? Who's the guy? The original vocalist. I don't even know. I don't even care. But he finished off with a great vocal performance on The Bleeding. Real good vocal performance. We're just getting primitive caveman death metal for death metal vocals here. And I'm not complaining. Tasty. I want to hear some riffs. I like the fast. I like the frantic. But I want to hear some riffs, right? I want to hear the heavy metal. We've got Mummified and Barbed Wire coming up next. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV signing in. Vile is this record. Cannibal Corpse is the band. I am being quite critical, to be honest with you, up until this point. If not maybe a little bit onwards. The quality of the music has been alright, just judging by the first song. But Cannibal Corpse has got some awesome imagery. This album cover doesn't do it for me. Because you got butchered at birth, Tomb of the Mutilated, eaten back to life. That's what we've done on our journey. As far as the bleeding is concerned, it's not the... It didn't really tickle the pickle like the others did. And this artwork, you know, in relation to what we've had up until this point, it isn't good enough. It's not good enough. We've got Mummified and Barbed Wire, track number 2. Let's go. Oh, shit. Maybe put some volume on. Yes. Someone says the most underrated album. Cannibal Corpse. Gin and tonic. Am I right in saying there's not an incredible bass presence in the mix on this? 1996 Metal Blade. Incredibly prolific. To say we're only at 1996 and the debut, Eating Back to Life, wasn't... That was a 90s record, wasn't it? That wasn't an 80s record. Although the album artwork says 80s to me, Cannibal Corpse wasn't until the 90s, was it? Very prolific, putting out a lot of records. That's what I want. Dun, 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 dun. What does that remind me of? Is it a thrash band? I'm thinking of dun 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 dun. Oh, that's gonna kill me. That I don't think it's Municipal Waste. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I'm gonna have to pause for a second. I need to remember what this reminds me of. People, metalheads, you gotta tell me this one. Bow wow 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 da 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 da. And then it might kick into a solo. The thrash. Is it Municipal Waste? I can't put my finger on it, man. The lack of that snare is good. Let's go. I'm close to remembering what that is. Can you beat me to it? It's the song title in that end stab. Bow wow 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 bum 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 bum. That was Mummified and Barbed Wire. It was death metal. My people, it's killing me! I've never used Shazam in my life, but I tried going online and finding Shazam and trying to do this. What song is this? Is it Municipal Waste? Bam 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 ba 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 ba. Come on, I'll tell you what. If you're a metalhead, yes, and you want to prove that you are, you need to find out what that is. That's the hook of the song. That's the song title. I'll point out when the song title comes in. Banana, banana, ba 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 ba. Help me out. We got Perverse Suffering coming up next, yes? Yes, now, bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the TV. Perverse Suffering is track 3 of 11 on the record Vile by CC. And that doesn't stand for crowd control if you play World of Warcraft, such as Corpse Grinder. I used to be the CC enthusiast, as I was a Frost Mage. Hey! Don't get it twisted. I know my stuff. I was a Draenei Frost Mage, yes? Bada bing. Casillero del Diablo. 13.5% volume for a wine is pretty acceptable, don't you think? We're sipping on a little red tonight. Just a little red. I've got some tension in my neck here. That's killing me off. Vile. Track 3, Perverse Suffering. Let's go. Friday night, Easter Sunday coming up. Few people saying best song on the album. Shall we do some 6 Feet Under at some point? Bruh, people hate on 6 Feet Under for some bizarre reason. Because when I heard what people were mocking, like the vocals on 6 Feet Under, bruh, they sounded ignorant as hell. I was gassed by the vocals. I thought, whoa! One moment. That was Perverse Suffering. Everyone in the comments is gassing a guy called Jack Owen. Jack Owen. Who the hell is Jack Owen? This is the first time I've come across Jack Owen in my life. You can tell it's a Jack Owen song. How? Someone says San Andreas? What? Oh, someone responded, what? And somebody else said San Andreas. What? This was on the San Andreas soundtrack? Someone says Vile Gallery of Suicide and Bloodthirst is the best of Cannibal Corpse. Okay. I'm not familiar with Gallery of Suicide and Bloodthirst, so we've got that coming up. Yeah, it was an alright tune. Some great squealies on there. As far as Jack Owens is concerned, people say he's the lead guitarist. I read that. If he's written the song, Jack, come on, give me a couple more riffs, man. I want to hear some. Basically, I've come to a death metal album wanting some thrash metal. I can only put shame upon myself for that. We've got Disfigured coming up next. Yeah, let's keep jamming. Yes, now bless now. Don't forget rest now. Disfigured. Vile. Track 4 of 11 on the Vile record. We're sipping on a Casillero del Diablo today since 1883. Might even have a second. We're mixing tonight. I had a gin and tonic. My intention was to get to the gym later. Is it going to happen? We'll have to find out. Disfigured, let's jump in. There's 16 albums. There's 16 albums, and would you say like their most known songs are from the first so many albums? I know you got Scourge of Iron. That got promoted well when that came out. Someone says huge Morbid Angel influence on this one. Some good riffs in this one. This might be my favourite so far, you know. Let's go. Very slow fade out. That's what it sounds like. Bum bum bum. That was best track on the record so far. That had the best riffs. Bloodlands coming up next. Yes! Now, there's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV. Bruh, I've still got it on the tip of my tongue, but I can't come to it. There was a riff on the second track. And it reminded me of another song. And I need you metalheads to come together to tell me what this is. Arguably, it might be a hardcore song. But it goes... And on them end stabs is like the song title of the song, I believe. Bruh, help me out. There's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Vile. Track 5 of 11 is entitled Bloodlands. Let's flipping go. Someone says easily their best album. I disagree. I do disagree.
I am lost and single, disoriented by this bleak environment. How I came tastes like blood. Burning through burning mud, the atmosphere of causing fire. Every breath in my day of pain, thoughts of my blood, feeling my life. On the horizon I see a god, how does it mark moving as a me?
That was a heavy cadence. That was a heavy cadence. Few decent ideas. It was nice to hear the bass line for a change. Not even a bass line, but a bass guitar. That was Bloodlands. What more needs to be said? Let's keep on moving to the next track, yeah? Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget the rest now. Oh! Metalheads, if you come to this journey, I've remembered the track. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you've gone from the start and you found me lost, bow, mow, 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 shovel-headed kill machine. It's flipping Exodus. Is it Exodus? Shovel-headed kill machine. Get back! We're going to celebrate. This is Puncture Wound Massacre. 1 minute 41. It should be a rager. We're listening to Vile by CC. Not crowd control, as I used to use polymerization on the opponents over there, turning them into sheep. This is Cannibal Corpse. Let's thrash. Come on. Blah, 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 blah. Bruh, who's gonna go to Anthony Fantano to hear about the state of death metal? The internet's busiest music nerd just abides by what the flavour of the moment is to ensure he garners his view count. Yes? Bruh, Anthony Fantano's a madhead, trust me. Anthony Fantano's probably weird, man. He's probably weird. I'm not even going to say I'm projecting oneself, because sometimes such a bold statement in the face of a general society that thinks the opposite might be deemed as such. But I've seen a couple of videos on how the guy behaves in interviews and stuff. It's kind of mad. And a few third-party comments in regards to how he engages, like external to speaking to a camera on a YouTube video. But what do I know, eh? That was Punctual Massacre. It was a rager. It was blazing. Do you know what? I think there's a space in the market for a band that plays organic, traditional, high-speed, high-intensity death metal with a couple of riffs in between, performing songs at 1 minute 30 to 1 minute 45 on average, in a grindcore sense, and having some degree of success live, playing at death metal events, playing at grind events, playing at hardcore events. Because the intensity and going from one song to another to another to another and having a 20-song set list of just blazing fast death metal, traditional death metal, that'd be something new, you know. The closest we get is crossover thrash or grind bands, you know. We don't have traditional death bands forming entire sets worth of fast, low song length sets. So if you start a band now after hearing that game, give me some credit, yeah? Sample me on that one. We've got a Relentless Beating coming up. Yes, now blessed now. There's Rocksteady, the internet's busiest music poser, signing in. Vile is the record, Cannibal Corpse is the band. Track 7 of 11 is entitled Relentless Beating. Let's go. It's an instrumental. Someone says this is one of the most underrated instrumentals ever recorded. I ask you people, what's the best instrumental? Disregarding overrated or underrated, what's the best instrumental that has ever been? First thing that comes to my mind, not in the realm of best, but the first instrumental that comes to my mind is that Kool and the Gang number, Summer Madness. Is that what they call it? That's a banger. I mean, you could go on and on and on and on about beats and like hip-hop instrumentals and so on and so forth, but like instrumentally, what's the best instrumental? Dream Theater, Dance of Eternity. Now that's some niche choice from a guy like me, but hey, that's good. In the world of hardcore, there's heaps of good instrumentals, i.e. the intros. Back to the Pound by Backtrack is one of my favourites. Talk to me about instrumentals, people, because instrumentals are shit. I hate them. Generally. The idea that I have to listen to a Cannibal Corpse instrumental is like, that's what you would expect as like bonus material on the YouTube channel to garner a few more views and to give the fans a little bit more, you know, like a run through on the video. I don't expect to hear an instrumental like from a band that has a vocalist without a serious purpose. You know, I don't want to hear an instrumental from a death metal act, to be honest. Ba 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 ba. That was tight. That was tight. It was frantic. Makes you want to get in the push party. Would have been better as an introduction to Absolute Hatred as opposed to like its own track. We've got Absolute Hatred coming up next. Let's keep going. Yes! Wagwan. Battyman. Absolute Hatred is track number 8 of 11 on Cannibal Corpse's fifth, I think, album. Vile. Not to be mistaken with the later albums Dial, Mild, and Senile. This is Absolute Hatred. Let's go. From the top. Someone says, this is my grandma's favourite song. You're getting a thumbs down. I hate that. Cannibal Corpse is the gateway death metal band, right? And so you find this abundance, maybe not so much on this record as it's a little bit more niched down, but just sort of like, I have to leave a comment and people will agree. Of course people will agree. People go, oh, that's funny. This is so intense and extreme and such a different form of expression that I'm unfamiliar with, that the idea of bringing this into normality, or what I perceive as normality, is ridiculous. Go fuck yourself. Someone says, mine too, she hums this as she prunes the roses in her garden. Thumbs down. Someone says, such art. Thumbs down. And then Project Creativity Guy 96 has left another comment just below. What has he said? I get my dancing shoes on for this every time. Now, I like getting my dancing shoes on, but I know this guy's cracking jokes based on that other comment. Thumbs down. I'm hating. I've been sipping. The track is called Absolute Hatred. I'm aligning with the frequency of the music, yeah? King of the Posers TV. Yo, do you know what I think, right? I think if you stay the long run, you go from finding these extreme acts upon your, entry into extreme music and finding how extreme it goes, and you come across a band called Anal Cunt. And you think, this is ridiculous, this is novelty, this is fun, but it's stupid. And then you go on your merry way and continue down your rabbit hole of extreme music, and you come back to A.C, AXCX, and you suddenly realise that the music is actually pretty good. That's what I find. That was my personal journey. I thought, holy shit, this is half decent grind. This is half decent punk music. This is alright, Whereas the world looks and points and laughs and holds on to their pearls, That rhythm guitar is blazing. That rhythm guitar is blazing. It might only be 2 power chords, but it's blazing fast. It's not as easy as it sounds. Pretty good. Plenty of room for discussion. Not a bad tune. Let's continue onwards. We've got Eaten From Inside coming up next, yeah? Yes, now bless. Now, what's good, people? There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. I'm hungry. It's about time I get some scran! Track 9 of 11, Eaten From Inside. Speaking of eating, I feel that. Eaten From Inside, I feel that. Cannibal Corpse Vile. Track 9 of 11. For those who abide by that which you are told and the intervals as to which you should eat, and when you don't eat for 2 hours, somebody says, oh, you need to get some food in you. Look into the health benefits of fasting and why they don't implement that. Yes. Intermittent fasting is good. It's good for you. It's anti-cancerous. But don't let them tell you anything else. Let's go. Unfortunately, it burdens you with a caffeine problem, such as myself. Anti-inflammatory. heavy metal, whilst we're here, think about it, right? You've got two biological principles whilst you're here on planet Earth. Number one law of nature is to survive. It's to self-preserve. Self-preservation is law number one. Second law of nature, second principle of our beings, of animalistic be-all and end-all is procreation, to entice us into procreating and continuing our lineage. So what you do if you want to attain more, if you want to gain more, if you want to progress more, you don't put more work in, you don't do this, that and the third. What you do is you don't eat first and foremost, because your biological ancestors needed to go out and hunt to eat, and that's still hardwired in us. Sorry if I'm stumbling and bumbling. I've been sipping on the red tonight. So you don't eat, and it creates a desire and the drive to create, to work, and you don't feel worn down and drowsy. If anything, it's the counter opposite. When you do eat, it sends a signal to your brain that you've done your day's job, you've done your day's purpose, and then you amplify that by going, "Ugh!" If you masturbate, if you relieve yourself of the seed that makes you man, then your brain thinks that you've procreated. Your brain thinks that you've done it in a manner as to which is your biological purpose. So by engaging yourself negatively with these two elements, which is what they will push upon you, they will tell you to eat all the time. They will feed you shit in the shops and say, here, buy this, buy that, buy that, buy that, buy that, sweet treat, sweet treat, sweet treat, and allow you to be addicted to these products, as well as giving you free pornography, right? I'm giving you game right here. I don't normally go into this depth, but they'll give you free pornography, and when something is given to you for free, you have to think, what is the reason behind this? Because nobody really does it for free. If you look at anybody who is a philanthropist in the media, yeah, anyone who is known as a charitable individual, you would have to wonder, why do you need to promote the fact that you're a good person? Surely just doing it would be good enough. It's because there's a duality, and that duality is that they're actually bad people. They're very bad people. Anyone who promotes themselves as charitable or a philanthropist and highlights and emphasizes the fact that they're charitable, look at the opposite. Look at the shadow to the light, yes? Stop eating so regular. Stop masturbating and allow your biological drive to send you on a tangent with such momentum that you achieve and accomplish everything you desire, and achieve and accomplish everything you've never thought you were able to do. Because you're too busy nullifying your brain to be satisfied with nothing, and it ends up in depression when you don't attain and achieve that which you believe you are worth. That's some real game. I'm putting you on game. Let's not talk about the magic that is behind the alchemy of pornography and how these people are witches, alchemizing your life force and energy into riches. Reality is more grim than the art. Don't turn to religion, but believe in God.
Inside, on the outside.
Someone says, reminds me of Bolt Thrower. And the response is, Bolt Thrower sounds way better. We need to do some more Bolt Thrower on this channel. I only listened to the first album so far, and I didn't think too much of it. I thought it was basic. Come on. Bam, 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 bam. That was Eaten from Inside. Nice mid-tempo stomper. I like that. I like that. I like that. I'm giving you too much game on that one, people. I got to reel it in. I got to reel it in. We're not talking about the retainment of the seed no further, yes? We're listening to Cannibal Corpse. Orgasm Through Torture is the counter opposite of what I was speaking of. Let's continue on with track number 10 coming up. Yes, now blessed, no. Meatheads, metalheads alike. Orgasm Through Torture. Track 10 of 11. We're listening to Vile by the grand Cannibal Corpse. What else does CC stand for? If you get a bike, you could get like a 150cc bike, I assume. We've spoken on Crowd. Control. Canned corn. Give me a riff. Bro, give me a riff. Give me a riff. Give me a riff. Give me a riff. Because I know that there is a very, very high potential that they're just going to give me blue balls and go back into the fast. She rips my cock off with her teeth. I do enjoy the staccato palm mute stabs the band does. They're really emphasized and they sound really good. There's quite a bass heavy sound engineering going on, so it really emphasizes that. Let's finish this record off with Monolith, yeah? I'll see you there. Yes, now bless now people. Let's finish off this record. It's Des at King of the Pit TV finalizing with Monolith. Right, we're listening to Vile, track 11 of 11. 4 minutes 24 is massive. It's the longest track in the record. Let's go. System of a Down. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Die! Ooh. The hell was that? What the hell? And that was Vile, the album by Cannibal Corpse. It was an alright tune. It was an alright tune. If you like your tremolo picking, if you like your single line tremolo picked death metal riffs, you know, traditional death metal riffs, and that's not a bad tune at all. I'm gonna finish off. I'll give you one last video where I give you my final overview. It's one to be watched because I think this record had some moments aside from not had some moments. I'll see you there. Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. Des Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in and signing out after listening to Vile, the album by Cannibal Corpse, 11 tracks. The debut from George Corpse Grinder Fisher, who is like the figurehead of Cannibal Corpse, if not death metal, you know. This person is very marketable, to say the least, through the duality of his personality to the, you know, the girth of his neck. This was where he introduced himself to the band, and I'm going to start off by quite simply making a bold statement and telling you that this wasn't a great Cannibal Corpse record. The sound engineering, the production wasn't great for the band, you know. It didn't align that well with the noise the band is coming up with. I think the sound engineer fucked it up, to be honest. Very bass heavy, not very audacious, not a great amount of clarity. And yes, extreme music is extreme music, but me as a consumer, I have a right to say I just don't think the sound engineering really aligned with the quality of the band. I think the band are of a better quality than the sound production. Vocally, yeah, good. Nothing that interests me. But we're going to get that from now on. It's not like, you know, I'm going to sit here thinking, oh, this is shit, I hate death metal. Because I know it comes with death metal. It's nothing we haven't had somewhat prior. You know, in the early Cannibal Corpse records where we're just monotone, straightforward. I mean, the early ones, we had no differentiation on the phrasing of the vocals whatsoever. It was just rolling, but it was still an enjoyable experience. Instrumentally, it was okay. I personally feel that this was a subpar record in comparison to the Cannibal Corpse albums we've heard up until this point. Not purely down to George Corpsegrinder, but instrumentally, it sounded uninspired. It sounded uninspired in comparison to... I mean, last record we heard from this lot was The Bleeding, and The Bleeding took a different direction from the Cannibal Corpse that came from there on. It had different elements, and it was experimental in a fashion that this has sort of brought it back to pure, strict, traditional death metal, but has done it in a way which was worse than Eaten Back to Life. 11 tracks, a substantial amount of material. I feel the sound engineering just didn't hit it. I think I'm gonna cast the most judgment upon the production of the record. Was it a bad record? No, not at all. It was good quality metal music. There weren't many moments that hit it off with me. There was no good riffs. Like, in all honesty, there was no good riffs. The Extremity had been done before. Even the album artwork, it's like you put the guy's penis in the artwork as a desperate attempt to be striking, and it's like the artwork isn't as good as... I referenced this during the list. For the album artwork isn't as good as Eaten Back to Life. It's not as good as Tomb of the Mutilated. It's not as good as flipping Butchered at Birth. The album artwork isn't as good. It's just like an odd looking guy stand alone with an attempt to sort of make it look horrific, and it's just... it doesn't work. The song titles are barren, you know, so whomever is delivering the lyrical content isn't doing what Barnes did. Barnes was very poetic in what he put forward, you know. I'm not a big Cannibal Corpse fan, but I understand what hits Cannibal Corpse have, and the hits and the most known songs from the people who get into Cannibal Corpse, because they are a gateway band, right? Oh, Cannibal Corpse, death metal. Rightfully so, they are the gateway death metal band. And the people who get into them at young age and the songs they get into them through the Extremity, there's not one of them. Not one song on this album is one of them. You know. Yeah, it's an average record. It's an average record. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. I'm giving this album a 5 out of 10. And it's not great because one of my friends told me this was like the best Cannibal Corpse record. The one my Corpsegrinder's first introduced, the best one. I don't agree. With that being said, we listened to this because somebody on the Patreon recommended a later record, which we're going to go on to next. I thought we might as well hear Corpsegrinder's debut prior to go into it, you know, considering it was the next record to listen to. On that note, I'm signing out, people. Peace.